Apple Watch versus a Whoop. I know this is a question plenty of people are asking themselves. I've actually a lot of people that are coming towards me as well. A lot of teammates that are asking, should I go for a Whoop or should I go for an Apple Watch? And I'd like to share my personal experience, my personal thoughts. Why should you go for the Whoop? Why should you go for Apple Watch? Maybe both, which is my case. And let me just explain my personal experience. I've been wearing an Apple Watch for years now. I mostly use it for notifications. It works really well within the Apple ecosystem when doing workouts, when setting quickly an alarm, or maybe have important reminders. Apple Watch is amazing for that. And the Whoop is then more tailored towards athletes. And let me just completely elaborate on the two differences. Let's start obviously with the design. The Whoop is just this band here with this clasp. That's basically it. This is for specification. I think it's important to know I'm wearing here the Whoop MG, which is the medical grade one. And this is the Apple Watch Series 10 right now. And the Whoop is just a simple band, nothing special. You can really put it tight on your wrist. It's waterproof, you can swim with it. It's pretty comfortable, it's light, you don't really feel it. And obviously we have the Apple Watch, which has a display, certain buttons, and you can add obviously different bands as well. That's also the case with Whoop, but it's more limited with Whoop. With Apple Watch, you have this massive third-party marketplace, obviously, where you can get your bands. It's a bit more present, even with the Apple Watch Series 10 becoming lighter and less present on the wrist. I still think you feel it a bit more compared to the Whoop. And I just want to mention, with regards to the design, the main difference here is that the Apple Watch is a display, and I call the Apple Watch more of an active wearable versus the Whoop more of a passive wearable, because the Apple Watch will give you notifications. You can use it to go to certain apps. You can use it for timers, reminders, everything. Like it's almost like a small little iPhone on your wrist, whereas the Whoop is like completely passive. The only feature that is active on the Whoop which you can use is the alarm. So you can set an alarm and then you get haptic feedback. Obviously this is also something you have on the Apple Watch, but right now that's the only active thing you can do with the Whoop. Yeah, obviously this has advantages and disadvantages for people. People that are not interested in having like a display or a thing that is active on their wrist should go for a Whoop. And then obviously if you want to have something that's more active, then go for the Apple Watch. With regards to display, what I really like about the Apple Watch is that when I'm working out, I'd love to see how I'm doing, the time, the pace, my heart rhythm. These are all things that, yeah, you cannot see on your Whoop. You need to go to your iPhone then, and then obviously there you can see how things are going if you started a workout. And yeah, that is visible on the Apple Watch. So it's amazing to just track what you're doing real time. Next up, with regards to workouts, like I train a lot. I'm a semi-professional field hockey player, and I'm not able to train with my Apple Watch. It's just too dangerous. Although I can train with my Whoop. And I have to say, I was truly impressed with the Whoop the first time I trained with it, because after the training, it recognized that I was doing field hockey, or at least that I did field hockey. And that just blew my mind. It recognized the sport. It really gave me this tailored, detailed results about my workout, about my hockey session. I'm just blown away by this. That's something I think also showed a bit the main differences between the Whoop and the Apple Watch. I don't want to go in too much detail, but I think the Whoop stats are more in-depth, are more precise, and are more tailored for high professional athletes, whereas the Apple Watch, especially the Series 10, is more tailored towards the average athlete. Apple Watch is great. Obviously, if you want to taking it a step further, you also have the Apple Watch Ultra, but yeah, this is a big boy. And with regards to that, I briefly want to go to the next important topic, and that is battery life, obviously. So yeah, the Apple Watch Ultra has significant amount of battery life. For me, it lasts around 2 to 3 days, depending on how I'm using it. For the Apple Watch Series 10, I get around 1.5 days. And with the Whoop, that's crazy, I get around 12 to 14 days. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. And I think one of the biggest pros of the Whoop, obviously this makes sense, there's no display, the battery could be same in size, and yeah, the things that need to be powered with the Whoop are significantly less power consuming compared to the Apple Watch. So with regards to battery life, the Whoop MG, this is the clear winner. 12 to 14 days without charge. It's an absolute game changer if you ask me. Okay, so obviously when talking about the battery, we also need to talk about charging. There's actually a massively different way way in order to charge your Whoop or your Apple Watch. What's really cool with the charger of the Whoop is that you have this charging plug here that you can put on top of your Whoop, just like that. And then it's charging and you can just keep wearing it and using it. I don't actually recommend to swim with it or do any workouts. Just charge when, I don't know, you're eating or working. And then, you can just still keep wearing your Whoop and then get all your insights. Basically can charge the Whoop plug here. Let's remove it via USB-C. So that's very easy with this cable. You just plug it in and then you can just plug it into any other USB-C powered device. I'm now using my iPhone just for the sake of this video, and you can see it's just charging up. And a small detail about the Whoop though is that you can actually double tap it and then you can see the battery indication. So let's double tap it. And you can see here now it's indicating green, which is above like 50%. And when it drops below 50%, 20 to 49%, it will become orange. And if it's below 20%, it will be red. If we go to the Apple Watch charger, it's absolutely a completely different game here, because the annoying thing is that you need to remove your Apple Watch in order to charge your device. You need to magnetically charge it like that, then you cannot use it. So that's a massive difference between both products. And this also brings me to the next point, which is sleep tracking. So sleep tracking is now also available on the Apple Watch Series 10 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2. It has some amazing insights. I think these two, with regards to sleep, are more or less comparable. However, I think what's really nice about the Whoop is that the insights are a bit more in depth. You really get some nice recommendations, things you should change or do in regards to your sleep. For example, you can fill in this journal every day, and then based on that, also your sleep will slowly improve. And then based on that, you get suggestions and you can adjust the time you go to bed, the longer you need to sleep. So this is really nice to have. Also, I'd like to cover some truly unique things about both wearables. Like, what's amazing about the Whoop is that you now also can have your Whoop age. It can be a funny little metric about how old you actually are based on your workout. So for me, like, I'm 32, but my Whoop age is around like 26. It's based on your different workouts, your heart rate, all these things. And then you get this Whoop age. Can be a blessing or a curse for some people. That's really amazing about the Whoop. Next, the Apple Watch has some life-saving features. So for example, emergency SOS is one of these, or car crash detection. I think these are things that you cannot put a price on. And these are really some features that make the Apple Watch stand out. And for me, actually, the reason to wear both devices, the Apple Watch can actually save your life, which is not the case for a Whoop right now. And then lastly, I think the most important part, and that is the pricing. There are 3 different tiers. There's the Whoop 1 tier, the Whoop Alive, and the Whoop Peak. I know this is something people really don't like about the Whoop in particular, because the Whoop comes with a subscription. The Whoop 1 subscription is only for the Whoop 5.0, so not the MG, and you pay around $199 per year, around like $17 per month. Then you have the Peak subscription, also only for the Whoop 5.0, and this one costs $20 per month, or around $240 a year. And then lastly, the Whoop MG, the most expensive one, that one comes in at $365 per year, and basically around $30 a month. Obviously, there are also ways you can buy 2-year subscription, and then the prices become a little bit less, but still it's a subscription, and I know many people don't like that. And then if we go just to the Apple Watch, the Apple Watch Series 10 starts around $399. So that's just a fixed price, and sometimes it's just something people prefer. Then you don't have any subscriptions and it's just a one-time purchase. So that's a bit my personal thoughts about the Whoop versus the Apple Watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share that in the comments with us. I hope this was helpful. It gave you more insights into whether you should get a Whoop or whether you should get an Apple Watch, or maybe both. Thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, like this video, and see you in the next one. Peace.